Hello, and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 27. We have just finished our watch along, which will be available on YouTube, of Arsenal versus Tottenham, where Arsenal scraped by in the end and won 3-2. So, great result for Arsenal. They did win 3-2. Could have been better. Bit squeaky bum at the end. So, do we have a Jim Jam the Statman stat?
I've kept it short this week.
Got a short, sharp, snappy one this week.
There's one team in the Premier League to not receive a red card this season. Which team has not had a red card all season?
Can't possibly be Everton, can it? Is it us? I don't remember seeing us have a red card this season. Or was Tomiyasu sent off early?
I think Tomiyasu was sent off for time wasting.
Even though it was Havertz that was time wasting. Yeah, I remember that now, yeah. One team that hasn't had a red card. Is it City?
No. It's a team we wanted to stay up, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Luton. It was between Luton and Newcastle, and Anthony Gordon got sent off, which then meant that stat became live for me.
Excellent. Oh, right, okay.
It just had to get through yesterday's game. If Luton had a player sent off yesterday, I would have been like, "Oh no, I've got to find a stat."
Right, well, I've got a bit of a stat sort of thing that I looked into, because now Klopp's going. Liverpool have now officially. It wasn't certain when I wrote all this out, so it was like Arne Slot could potentially be replacing Klopp, whereas now he is.
Be on it. I've never heard of him.
I only know about him because we were linked with him last year during our managerial turmoil.
So 12 months ago, you'd never heard of him either.
Not really.
So neither of us have really ever heard of him. He's been described as the best attacking manager in Holland by a guy that reports on football in Holland. So apparently he is quite good, but there have been 9 Dutch managers in the English league. And basically they've all been shit. They've all been absolutely shocking. So it's not looking good for him going from Dutch football to the EPL. Also, Van Dijk has said that he may leave now Klopp's going. It looks like Salah's going to go, especially with his hamstring issues that he's having. So it looks like he's going to be leaving as well.
I thought that was already a foregone conclusion that he was going to go to Saudi Arabia next year.
It was just spoken about, wasn't it? It wasn't actually in concrete, but
I think
Liverpool
think he's
would
have been better in cashing in this year.
They got offered 150 million in the summer.
I can't see them getting the same offer this.
They might get
summer.
50. I don't think they'll get much more than that.
But no, I think they probably should have sold him.
And Alisson said a little while ago that he's going to leave if Clippity Klopp went.
I bet he doesn't.
So I'd love to see him go, because I think he's a great keeper. So anyone that Liverpool lose, I think is good.
If he left, they've got a great keeper.
And
anyway, because I think Kelleher he proved that he was a good keeper as well. I feel very harsh.
Yeah, he's a very good goalkeeper, actually. He's done really well.
I can't see him staying. Wanting to be a number 2 again.
It depends, doesn't it? Because if Alisson does decide he's going to follow Klopp out the door, then
he'll probably become number 1.
He'll be the number 1. So
but if Alisson doesn't go, is he going to want to be a number 2 goalkeeper again?
I don't know, because I don't know how ambitious he is. He might not be an ambitious person at all.
Maybe not. Maybe he loves the club.
So it's hard to tell, isn't it? But yeah, the last little bit for the intro is Kevin Keegan's come out publicly and said that he does not like listening to female commentators and female pundits talking about male football.
Oh, so he's another one.
There's another Joey Barton.
Oh dear.
So we will come back to that. And once we've played the music. Hello and welcome to episode 27 of the Sunday League Pundit Show with me, Stretch, my very good friend Jim Jam to my right, and over there behind the camera we have my very good friend Tin Ribs. So we've just come back from watching the Arsenal v Tottenham game, which did end up in a an Arsenal 3-2 victory, which obviously is a good result for us. We are technically going for the title, although I think it's over already. But yeah, we won the game. Very unconvincing in the end when it should have been quite convincing.
I think you're relying on Spurs to help win you the title.
Yeah, but they're not. Spurs are not going to get the amount of help that Arsenal gave them today. Put it that way. So moving on from that, anyway. Yeah, we're going to go on to
Southampton. And where
your
it all
thoughts
went
on
wrong.
Southampton and.
So we played Stoke and we made some changes and we played some fringe players and dropped some players from the game midweek, which I'll go into very shortly. And we just didn't prove anything. It just proved that the squad that we've got is not good enough, and it's why the top three are the top three and we're fourth. Because I think that Leicester absolutely probably the best side in the league. Tim may disagree and say Leeds are the best side in the league from his experiences, because they've actually managed to beat Leicester on multiple occasions, which we failed to do. Ipswich, I think they're just riding high on success. I wouldn't say they've got the better squad out of the four of us, but they've definitely got a winning mentality that's better than ours.
They've got that really good team mentality, and their strikers are just on form. I mean, you can't.
It always helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Let's take Haaland. Whether you agree or not on like how good he is and all that, he's not scoring at the moment because he's off form. He hasn't got his daily. But when he's on it, and you can't stop him.
It's a machine.
Yeah, that's the same with
machine.
Ipswich. And I think next season, no matter what division Ipswich are in, I don't think they'll replicate this season again. If they go to the Premier League, they will be absolutely trampled by everyone unless they put heavy investment in. I think in the Championship, they'll sit playoff area at best.
Yeah.
I just think at the moment, they've come off that. They've just got promoted. They've sort of
They had a very good start as well, didn't they?
They had a very good start, but they sort of strengthened, but they didn't really strengthen to what you would call a Championship contention team. They were just a survival team. Mm-hmm. But they've took that mentality of winning into the next season, and they've been riding high on it. I think if you look at how many games they've gone into the 98th, 99th, 100th minute and got a result, says where their mentality is.
Fight until the end.
Yeah.
But you can't always rely on having an extra 10 minutes, though, can you?
Leicester
the thing is,
Leicester
you
had
say
that when they
they're
were
up there
league.
because of it. The amount of goals they've scored post 90 minutes is unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's not going to continue, though, is it?
No, but this is
it's not going to
so I
go on and on.
I don't think that where they are it's not like they're going to, you know what I mean? It's they've done exceptionally well for where they are. I don't see wherever they are next season. At this moment, it's looking like Premier League. I don't see them carrying that through in the Premier League. I think they'll be a one-season stay.
How many games they got left now?
They've got 2.
So they've got 2.
Yes.
What is? Let's get the table up and give us some idea of points.
So they're
on 90 points.
They're on 90
same
points.
as Leeds.
Same as Leeds.
Okay.
Leicester are on 94.
So you're
Leicester
just behind on goal difference then at the moment.
Yes. So
Leicester have pretty much won the league unless
I will put a little clip of the
Ipswich
league table onto the YouTube videos for
do
them
it.
that are watching, so you will see it. But Leicester are basically up. They've got 94, and they've played 44.
they're not basically up. They are up.
they are up there.
They celebrated after.
They're
Sorry,
promoted.
I meant basically champions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, because they're 4 points clear. And
If Ipswich
there's only
beat
2 games.
Coventry, Ipswich can win the league.
Now, Coventry, yes, they can.
But they have to win the league.
Well, they have to
beat
win their next 2
Yeah.
games, don't they? Because of goal difference, they have to win the next
Yes.
2 games as well.
And that's the only way Ipswich can win the league.
So Leeds, if Ipswich lose the next 2 games, you could get automatic promotion.
If Ipswich lose the next 2 games, we do get automatic promotion.
Yeah, because they're already in that
Oh yeah,
position.
because you're above on goal difference, aren't you? So yeah, so you're up as long as Ipswich lose 2 games. Who's their other game then? Because Coventry could potentially beat them. They're in ninth. It's not like they're a bad side.
Huddersfield. I'll let you laugh at that one.
Second from bottom.
And I just want to point out, Huddersfield absolutely hate Leeds. We live rent-free in their head.
Of course.
And
Huddersfield Leeds.
And if you ever go on in a Huddersfield forum, all they talk about is Leeds. They don't talk about Huddersfield. They don't talk about any other thing. It's just Leeds. They are fucking obsessed. It's absolutely shocking.
And they're pretty much down anyway, aren't they?
They're down. They will pretty much hand Ipswich the result. They will lose that game. If you find out...
If they know they're getting relegated because the other results are going against
I'm willing to say that I bet...
You think they'd take relegation over you
You're
getting
talking a
promotion?
QPR Man City moment where QPR beating Man City and then they're guaranteed safety and then they imploded and Man City went and won the title.
I'm talking the goal difference at the moment is 7. Say Ipswich lose 1-0 to Cov and the goal difference is 8 and Leeds are 0-0 with Southampton, Huddersfield are the team that would purposely go and lose 9-0 to make sure that we don't go up.
I'm not 100% sure that's the case.
I think some sort of match fixing would...
I think match fixing would 100% come into that then. Although, how many matches did you fix? Because you've conceded 9 a few times, haven't you?
But yeah, if you ever go on a Huddersfield Facebook forum, they talk about nothing other than Leeds. They are.
I've got to say I've never ventured into a Huddersfield Facebook page.
The only advantage you've got is at the moment they can stay up, so they have actually got to fight for their game.
So basically, if Huddersfield win their next game, they're less likely to screw you guys over because that's the only way they're going to survive.
Is by winning.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be interesting, wouldn't it?
I know.
What would be better is Huddersfield win their next 2 games, go down anyway, but because Huddersfield
Huddersfield have only got 1. They've got
to
win
got 1.
that game.
Oh, let's hope, right, that they win that game but go down anyway, but because they've won their last game, you go up. Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Because they'd win and get relegated regardless. See, I don't care anyway, so it makes a difference to me. But yeah, that'd be quite funny. So
we played midweek and we lost to Leicester quite convincingly. Yeah, people didn't expect that result, a 5-0 defeat, and it was just gutless. It was.
I remember messaging you saying, "What the hell's going on?"
And I said, "It's 67% of doing nothing with the ball. It's like it's all well and good you're playing attractive football, that's." Good passing, good movement in the midfield, but there's nothing going forward. And you don't win a game by possession.
No,
if we did, we'd be clear, won the league in January. But
do you know that's one of the things I wanted to talk about from the Everton game? Just going on about your possession thing is right. They were going on about times this season where Everton have had more than 48% possession and less than 48% possession. Right, the games they've had more than 48% possession,
they've lost, I guess.
They've had, I think, 13 draws, 13 defeats, and about 6 wins. And when they've had less than 48% possession, they haven't been beaten.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think they've won 9 and drawn 1 of them. So less possession sometimes helps.
So Leicester looked ruthless, and they just absolutely looked like scoring every single time they attacked. And like I say, they didn't have the ball as much, but when you actually... I was watching the game, and it didn't look like we had twice the amount of the ball. Because Leicester just looked so good with it when they had it, and just penalised us.
Being clinical is so important, though. When you get your chances, you have to take. Look at Arsenal tonight. We missed a good few chances, which would have made the game comfortable regardless.
I mean, we had it like where we were on a good roll, and we got ourselves within a shout of like, could we actually get automatic still? And we lost to Cardiff in the last minute. But David Brooks had a chance to make it 2-0, and all he should have done was tap it into an empty net, and there was just a defender there. But he took an extra touch, and the keeper got back. And that just made me think. And it's not the only time where we've lost it because we're gutless. We didn't lose that game because we lost to Leicester We don't lose the league because we lost to Leicester, because we could have lost to Leicester. It's fine. You can lose 6 games a season. We could have lost to Ipswich, Leeds and Leicester twice if we beat everybody else. But it's the fact that we weren't in contention because we lost 2 points against Rotherham, which we were 1 up. They had 1 attack, scored it. And, you know, we had 20 attacks in that game. We should have beat them.
Efforts.
We should have scored loads in that game. We did the same against Huddersfield. We drew 1. That's another 2 points. And there's loads of games where we've drawn games which we've been absolutely cruising and we've conceded in the last minute. We did it against Watford. We've done it against Norwich. You know, where we've scored, we've took the lead. We've not been ruthless. And the manager comes out and says, we played great football. We just didn't take our chances.
The fans don't want to hear that.
So... And I look at going into next season, there's definitely going to be changes, and a lot of the players aren't good enough. Like Seiko Mara, he's not good enough to go up front, and we know that Adam Armstrong is definitely good enough. So he's one player that we're gonna want to keep, and I think we will keep because he didn't have a very good time in the Premier League with us. He didn't score that many goals, but obviously he's been one of the best strikers in the Championship this season. The wingers haven't been good enough. They're nowhere near as good as Leeds standard. I think Leeds have got the best wingers in the league.
Yeah,
by far.
Aren't you thinking of losing your wingers, though?
Yeah, we mentioned that in a thing where Somerville's linked with Liverpool, which I think for Liverpool that's probably a good signing for them, if it went through.
Is that to replace Salah then, do you reckon?
Probably.
I could see that being a thing.
Isn't Salah right-sided, though?
Yeah.
Somerville's left.
Maybe they're going to put Diaz on the right. And...
So we let Alcaraz go in the winter window, and we brought in Brooks and Rothwell, which at times they've shown glimpses of promise, but overall, not really going to be disappointed if they're not going to sign permanently.
See, I really like Brooks as a footballer. I think he's quality. I don't understand why he hasn't hit the ground running at Southampton.
He's not been as good as I thought he could be. Rothwell's shown glimpses of it, but not to be a starter. You know, defensively, a lot of the defenders I'd keep. Some of them are just bench players, which I've spoke about before. Not necessarily on this, just when we've been chatting, and it's like that's the problem I find, that I'm saying, oh no, he's a good squad player, but I think we've got too many good squad players, not guaranteed first starters, first team.
Yeah,
where I go, Adam Armstrong, absolutely 100% he starts. Flynn Downs, absolutely 100% he starts. Kyle Walker-Peters, 100% he starts. Taylor Harwood-Bellis, absolutely 100% he starts. I get to that point, and that's about where it ends.
That's 4 out of 11. You've got 4 starters in your team, according to you.
Yeah. I can pick players that could start, and I'd be happy that they're starting.
Yeah, but they're not
guaranteed. Like, I could put Bednarak there. I'd probably say he's about 95%. Yeah, I'm happy with him.
You've probably got 5 then.
Goalkeeper, absolutely. We've got to sign 2 goalkeepers. We need.
You're not happy with either.
I'm not happy with any of the 3 really. Bazunu, he's out for 8-9 months, so we definitely need a new keeper come start of season. Alex McCarthy just isn't good enough. He's proven a little bit that he made some saves against Stoke. Don't know how good the shots were, but he saved them. It seemed more than Bazunu's done this year. Who's with the ball at his feet, great, but I want my goalkeeper to save the shots, so that's why I want Rotherham's keeper, which...
That's what goalkeepers are meant to do, isn't
it? I hope is Johansson, I can't remember. So it is Johansson.
Victor Johansson.
Victor Johansson, I hope that we go in and sign him, because I think he would be a guaranteed starter for Southampton, and I think he would only strengthen us. We're definitely weaker when Flynn Downs is out of team. I link at our failures when he goes. I'd like to see Jack Stevens perhaps play a CDM role. I think he's got the passion to play for the club, but I'm not sure if he's good enough. But I'd really like to see him a little bit higher up the pitch just to see what he can do.
What he's capable of.
Yeah, because it's
sense.
like we talked in Trent Arnold and why he should not be anywhere near the England squad at right back. He shouldn't be anywhere near the
'Cause he's not a
Liverpool
defender.
squad. Right, but
Yeah, 'cause he's not a defender.
because his defending against Calvert-Lewin was criminal.
I think he's cost Liverpool a good few goals this season, you know.
Yeah, it was awful.
I
He
don't
didn't even
think he's
attempt
that
to
great
challenge.
as a defender.
In fact, it was more likely that he assisted him because I think he gave him a little push in the back, which gave him Calvert-Lewin a little bit more power to head the ball in. But he didn't jump. He wasn't close to him. It was like, oh, I'll let you score.
It was poor. At best, it was poor.
So we definitely need strengthening next season, most likely in the Championship. But if it is the Premier League, then all my days, there's some work to do.
Wow. What about Leeds?
Well, what about Leeds? So we've got two ways to look at it. If we're in the Championship next season,
I love the way you're both so positive. You both started your sentences
hang
with
on.
if we're still in the Championship.
So, ideally, we want to be Premiership. Ipswich do have the driving seat on this one. They do. So we've got to look at it that Ipswich have got the potential to completely just take us out this game. Now, looking at... when was the last time anyone can honestly say they saw 4 teams in the Championship score in excess of 85 points?
It's a lot of points, isn't it?
You've seen maybe the top 3 do it, because I think it's Sunderland that have got the record at the moment, 90 points and not gone up. They failed to get promoted with 90 points.
That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And where we mentioned earlier,
but then there's
Ipswich,
3 now, isn't there? 94, 90 and 90, and the season's not over yet.
Yeah.
Ipswich were in the driving seat, and you said about that they're going for promotion and success, and they won't do it last season. Obviously, Sunderland, I think, had just been promoted from League One, and they got into the playoffs last season, and they failed to go up this season. They're nowhere near.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying about Ipswich next season. I think not going up this season would not help them next season, because I think they'll be on the downer.
Who else do you think is going to get automatic promotion this season?
This season?
As of right now, who do you think is getting the automatic promotion? But bearing in mind, we already know that Leicester are going up. That's why I've only asked for one team.
Leeds.
You think Leeds are going to get automatically promoted?
Yeah, I think Ipswich there's a part of me that just thinks they're going to bottle it against Coventry.
I think, and this sort of backs onto... At this point, Ipswich have no pressure. There's no pressure on Ipswich at all.
Because nobody expected them to go up.
They don't even expect to be there.
Yeah.
But they're now going to be going into the game with Coventry knowing full well that they can do it. Whether they sit there and lie to themselves and say, it doesn't matter what we're... No. That's going to be in the back of their head.
Yep.
It is in their hands and it's in their head.
Yeah.
So I think possibly that people are already saying they almost bottled it against Hull.
Yeah.
So
if they'd have beaten Hull and had them extra 2 points,
oh yeah,
absolutely, I'd have 100% gone Ipswich.
But I do think that they might start feeling the pressure a little bit.
So even if they draw against Coventry, they're going to be in trouble,
the whole
aren't they,
season,
really? Because
put it this way, they've drawn 3 in a row.
It doesn't look good, does
That's
it?
6 points lost.
Yeah.
They'd already be promoted if they'd have won.
Yeah, they would, yeah.
So
them games.
They
are in driving seat for the Championship.
I think they're starting to feel the pressure. But like I say, you've got a lot of teams, very high points, and some of them are going to miss out. So now that we're sort of in that position of we've got to think about they are missing out, you've got to start looking at let's be realistic. At the moment, Ipswich are in driving seat. So let's start with if Leeds are in the Championship. Our biggest problem is going to be holding on to players.
Same as what he said.
Now, ideally, we need a number 9. And then, I don't know. Because...
You're going to steal that dude off Blackburn?
Schmodic, he's more of a 10.
Yeah,
can get goals, can't he?
See, the problem you've got is...
Can get
might
goals.
even be classed as an 8.
Yeah, Schmodic would essentially be playing the same role as... Rutter. Schmodic scores more goals. But what Rutter does for the team, I would still pick Rutter. It sounds stupid.
Rutter's the link-up, whereas Schmodic's kind of finishes.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Modric reminds me a bit like Lampard.
Okay. Although he got
Yeah,
he
but
scores a lot of
hundreds
goals.
of goals,
How
doesn't
he's
he?
not playing.
how many
up front.
times did you see Lampard get the ball, shrug off 3 players, run past them, skin a guy, and then feed a winger through?
That's not
That's-
Lampard's.
That's not
game.
Lampard's thing. That is Rutter. Schmodic is the same. Schmodic doesn't shrug off 2 or 3 players and weave his way through.
He's just there at the end.
He just makes his way.
okay.
Which what Lampard does. He's there at the end.
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. As much as I'd love to say, yeah, I want Schmodic. I don't think he'd fit our team. Now, if Rutter goes, which is obviously very potential, he would be a brilliant
I
replacement.
can see him being wanted. Whether or not he leaves is another matter. But I
that's
can
the
see him
thing. It's
being
like,
wanted.
obviously, Somerville's been linked with Liverpool.
Yeah.
But he was linked with a lot of teams at the start of the season, and he said, "No, I'm staying here."
Yeah, he still might do the same. You never know.
So there are players who actively want to stay. So you sort of got to try and toy with who's going to stay, who's going to go. Let's say we lose Anonto and Somerville.
Yeah.
Let's say we lose them. So we're going to need wingers. We're not going to lose Ampadu, who was in the team of the season. He's one of our best players, and he definitely should be our captain. I want us to sign Rodon. Hopefully we will. Will we keep Meslier?
That's big.
We couldn't sell him for toffee in the summer. We would try and sell
You
him.
would now.
Yeah.
You would
That's
now.
right. So
I'd have him.
yeah. So
We said that outside last week. We said
Better than Raya.
the difference was Meslier came off a bad season where he got dropped, didn't he, last
Yeah.
season for his performances. So nobody was going to go in and sign a player that was
Whereas
getting
now he's
dropped.
been
and he
in the
has
Premier
outstanding
League.
been
this season.
sensational for us.
Been outstanding.
He's made a
this
few
season.
mistakes, and people have very quickly picked up on
You
them.
can accept mistakes when they play that well,
Yeah.
though.
But
Can you accept mistakes?
Depends who it's from.
He can't.
I can accept mistakes, but not when it's constant.
But it's like he got ripped to pieces for the header the other night that lofted over him. It's
That shit happens,
But-
though. Like,
Yeah.
you
yeah,
can't
he
expect.
took a lot of flack lately, but the amount of like Leicester, he won us that game with that save in the 96th minute. So he's done. At the end of the day, if I could say we stay in the Championship, and we don't have to sell anybody, the only player I'd be looking to buy realistically is a
Number 9.
good number 9.
Yeah.
We need someone who's going to do the same thing that Bamford does,
John Nketiah.
but also do the things that Bamford doesn't, and that's put the ball in the back of the
okay.
fucking net.
Okay, forget it.
Because Bamford,
Never mind.
as much as I hate to say it, we do miss him. His workload up front is impressive, but that Joseph's starting to look good. So realistically, what we need is to strengthen the bench. We need to strengthen the rest of our team.
Yeah.
But again, for a Championship team, we've got a very good team. Glenn Kamara came off the boil a little bit, which is why he got dropped. But since then, we've been playing a right back at right back. So Archie Gray's now been filling in midfield.
Great player.
So-
I really like Archie Gray, you know.
So realistically, we'd probably need a right back as well, because
We need a DM.
You want to keep
By the way,
Archie
so-
Gray in,
midfield.
and you've got to keep hold of Archie Gray. That's obviously the other.
We need a DM.
Hands off.
I would take Archie Gray in a heartbeat.
But yeah, so
I think he's brilliant.
but realistically, I don't think if we're in the Championship we need to change much. I think we've got a Championship winning team.
I'd also, just before we go to break, now you've both had your say on your teams, I would like to point out that I brought up last week a young lad called Obi that plays for Arsenal's under
Yes.
18s, and I said that he scored 22 in his last 8 games or something.
Yeah.
He's made that 29 because he scored 7 in his last game against Norwich under 18s. Rooney was 16 when he hit the stage. Give this kid a chance.
The difference between Rooney and Ed is Rooney looked about 30.
He did, but there's no saying that the kid can't make it.
Yeah,
Raheem Sterling looked 11 when he came through.
yeah.
Sean Wright Phillips looked about 8 years
I
old
think
when
he'd
he came through.
benefit from being in the squad.
Cesc Fabregas
not even-
was 16 when he first played for Arsenal,
Yeah.
and he looked like he'd just come out of primary school, and he was phenomenal. So it's not like it can't happen.
So
and at the
for
end of the
me-
day, if they bring him through and he's not that great, what's the worst that could happen? You put him
Put him-
back in the under-21s and send him out on loan.
Put him on the bench for the Bournemouth game.
100%. And bring him on for the last half an hour. As long
Don't
as you're
even
winning,
need to bring him on.
I'd bring him on for the last half an hour. As long as we're winning, Say we're winning 2 or 3-0 with 20 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go. Just say to him, just if you can get a goal, go and get a goal. Do his confidence a world of good. And if he does come on and score,
wow,
you put him on again.
Yeah.
Give him another go.
Mm.
And then you wait for the friendlies in the summer, play him in all of them. Just go, right, this game you're going to get 45 minutes. Next game you're going to get 90 minutes. So you know during that game you've got the whole 90 minutes. Relax. Play your game. You've got 90 minutes. Regardless of what happens, unless you get injured, you're staying on that pitch. And then as a striker, he can relax there. Because he knows if he misses 2 chances, he's not looking at the bench thinking he's going to drag me off here.
Yeah.
Because you've been told at the start of the game, you've got 90 minutes. And I'd love to see him given a chance.
Tell you what you need to be doing if you're after a striker, start scouting in Scandinavia. Because, I mean, that lad that you're on about is Danish. And obviously you've got Haaland that's Norwegian.
Not
it's like,
bad, are they?
so whatever the Scandinavians are doing at a young age, they need to
Hoyland?
keep doing it.
Hoyland,
yeah, I've already said last week.
Yeah,
Hoyland's definitely
a
rated
yogurt
player.
or whatever they call it. Do you reckon it's that? so, right. I think what we're going to do then is we're going to go and take a quick break, and we shall be back with you beautiful people very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break. We did have a bit of a chill out then, bit of a bathroom break. All feeling much better now.
Absolutely.
We are sincerely hoping that the sound is a lot better this week than it was last week. Last week was our first week with the new equipment and the new microphones. We didn't really know what we're doing. As you can tell, I keep moving my mic again this week, so we're still not totally on top of it, but we are trying to get there and we are trying to learn.
Sounds good in our ears so
It sounds good in the headphones this week at least, so at least we've got that. And
second half last week I had no sound in my ears.
Yeah, we sort of struggled last time.
Sound, so...
And we have tried. We need to move that over because when you're just to the side of your mic, the sound comes through loads better. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit better on this side.
That's really weird. That is. And you might have noticed that you've not heard Tin Ribs much, and you might be concerned that his mic's not working. We've just turned him off. So don't worry about that. His microphone's working absolutely fine. Here, I'll just push this. Say hello, Tin.
All right.
There we go. See, it does work. We just turned him off. We've had a lot of messages saying, "Who's that Tim Ribs bloke?" I was listening to him anymore, so we just turned him off. So what do we want to talk about then, boys, this week? There's a lot of events to talk about during the course of the week, and there's a lot of Salah arguing with Klopp on the sideline, and Liverpool basically collapsing now that Klopp said he's gone. Personally, I think end of the season would have been I'm definitely enjoying watching them screw up.
So it's come up and he said Sir Alex Ferguson, his last season, he didn't tell the players he was leaving until he won the Premier League.
Yes.
So there was no pressure there. Whereas Klopp's come out in January, was it? I can't remember. It was a while ago.
I know. I've got a TikTok video where I've come out and said it.
He came out and said he was going.
It was early
All
though,
he's
wasn't it?
done,
He's
mounted this pressure on himself and his players. Ultimately saying, this is Klopp's last year. He's like, in Liverpool fans' terms, the most successful manager ever, I think, is probably how they're looking at it.
Up there with Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger.
Yeah. So, and we've already established on this pod that he is not that successful. And all he's done is put that pressure on the players to deliver this quadruple to the players that say they want to win everything. So it was just extra pressure on them.
But they did really well though, didn't they? Because as soon as he come out, they lost to United in the FA Cup, so they're out of that.
That was one gone.
Yeah, now they've
lost to...
Screwed up in Europe.
They lost to Atlanta.
And then Crystal Palace slaps them up.
And then Everton slapped them up.
And then they struggled. Yeah, slapped them up by Everton.
And then they struggled against West Ham.
West Ham, they've struggled as well, yeah.
Can't seem to get a win. I mean, he didn't win, but
I mean, to be fair,
Liverpool.
I can understand them struggling against West Ham. They're a good side that Arsenal only put 6 past. So,
I mean, speaking to a Liverpool fan in midweek, he was not really concerned about winning the title. He actually went along the lines of he was worried about Spurs getting Champions League and Villa getting Champions League and them not being in Champions League. I kind of said I think you've got too many points.
That's a bit excessive.
Yeah, I think that's a bit over the top.
The only conversation I've had with a Liverpool fan that I found amusing was the fact that we were on about who's left in the title race, and he refused to acknowledge that Arsenal are in the title race.
Oh, so we just said Man City.
Yeah. So what I said was, well, why are Arsenal not in the title race? They're currently in the driving seat, and they're doing well. And his reply was, because they're bottle jobs and they slip up. And I went, okay, so last season, I'll agree, they did. Liverpool are by far a bigger bottle job club than any other club in recent history. To the point where they actually have a famous moment where they were in the driving seat and their captain said, we do not let this slip. And in the match afterwards,
he
slipped up, allowing them a bar to score the goal that ended their season.
I love that song.
It's not even a great great striker, was he, John Boy?
Again, and then you'll have the whole, we're going against a team that spend millions. Right, so again, I remember the stat from a while ago. Pep Guardiola spent 242 million, was it, to win his first Premier League? And was it not 513 million Klopp spent to win his first?
Yeah.
So the club that spent double the amount that the Saudi or Qatari-based club have spent to win the league can't compete because they don't spend money.
Yeah, but let's also take into consideration that Klopp won one and Pepper's won like six as well.
What my point trophy in 34 years, I think it is. Yeah. In the last 34 years, one trophy. Bloody hell. Blackburn have won one trophy in the last 34 years.
So have Leicester.
So have Leicester.
Yeah.
But my point still stands. He's standing there saying that Arsenal are not contenders because they're bottle jobs. How many years has Klopp, while spending comparable money, bottled it?
That's a fair point.
They pretty much bottled it every year apart from the 1 year they won it.
The only year they've not bottled anything is the year that they won the Premier League, which I'm so glad that the fans weren't allowed to go.
They only bottled it because they didn't have to do it in front of the fans.
And obviously the year they won the Champions League, because, to be fair, I think you'd be quite happy if Arsenal went and won the Champions League.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think that's the one thing you've not seen them do yet.
Yeah,
not as a dig or anything.
I stand by the fact that we're not going to see us win it under Arteta because he's crap at knockout competitions.
I mean, this was a good year. And I know that when we were watching our watch along, which is available on YouTube, if you're interested in seeing us watch it, listen to and watch the Tottenham v Arsenal game, which Arsenal won.
Let's just say it got a bit interesting when Tottenham went to 3-2.
I did make a comment saying that I hope that Bayern Munich win the Champions League.
You did, yes, which I don't agree with.
No, I didn't think you would. And it was more along the lines that there was a part of me that finds it funny that Harry Kane's not winning anything, that, he went to a team that's won the league 11 years in a row and they haven't. But if they won the Champions League and Harry Kane does win a trophy, does that give him a little bit more confidence going into the Euros? And I know you say that there's only one man going to lose us the Euros, which I do agree with.
Yeah, the only person that's going to lose us the Euros is Gareth Southgate, which is what I pointed out. But
and I know you said that, and that leads us into, because you did say you wanted to talk about in the pod about Gareth Southgate and Euros.
For me, Gareth Southgate is just, he doesn't learn his lessons because we've made the same mistake in each championship that we've failed in. Like, you can call it successful if you want, but for me, they're all failures because did we lift the trophy? No, therefore you failed. There is only one success when you're in a competition. That is lifting the trophy in that competition. That is success.
I don't know, if you're San Marino, getting past the qualifying.
Don't get me wrong, that's different, but we're not San Marino, we're England.
I think if we're picking an England side now, I think the England side pretty much picks itself. I think there's probably only a couple of positions where we may disagree between the three of us of players that should be in them positions. And it won't be many.
I don't even think it's starting lineup that's the problem. I think it's tactics.
Because he's probably got no plan B.
You don't need a plan B.
He only has one. Plan B, score, defend.
No, he has plan D, defend.
Defend.
Yeah, but if
he doesn't have anything.
You've got potentially the best attacking team on the planet.
I don't think we're the best defensive team.
No.
We're not even close to the best defensive team.
No, because, I mean, the defence, I think it does pretty much pick itself because, I mean...
John Stones, for me, is the only really good defender that we've got.
John Stones is there. And for me, right now, I think Maguire does start next to him.
I think Stones is brilliant defender.
Only...
Name me another
one.
Walker.
Oh, he's more going forward, but yeah, he is a great defender.
Left back, I'm really struggling.
Pick me another centre back, though.
Oh, centre back.
You're playing Maguire at the moment.
Yeah, you are playing Maguire.
I'm not.
I would,
because he's been
good at
Man
He's been okay.
Since he's come back into the team, I agree. I was completely... Maguire should be nowhere near that England side because you can't even get in the Man United side. I'm sorry, but he's actually done quite well since he's got back in the Man United side. He's been doing quite well. That's like
telling me that somebody is the best actor in The Only Way is Essex. It's not that difficult to look good in something that's that shit.
But he's always looked okay in an England shirt. Maguire.
You're gonna look okay when your attacking's that good and you get into the semi-final or the final of the competitions. Like, for me, he's not good enough for me.
And I mean, I think we all know that Kane's starting up front. We know that Saka's going on the right. We hope to God that Foden's on the left. We know that Bellingham's playing behind him alongside probably Conor Gallagher, isn't it? Probably. Cole Palmer, sorry. Cole Palmer. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking.
And then
Declan Rice is a DM. The only position I'm struggling right now is who the hell plays left back?
It's a conundrum, isn't it? It would be your left back. Because I tell you what, I'd struggle to pick one.
I'm struggling to pick one. I was saying Chilwell, but his latest performances, no.
Yeah, but he's the only one that can really step in there, isn't he?
Right now, I'm saying Joe Gomez from Liverpool, who has played
Although, to be fair, Trippier is not a horrible left back.
No, he's not. But he's not a natural left back.
He's not. But then look at your options. For me, Trippier would have to be shoehorned into it because there's.
You're sure still injured? What?
I think he's either injured or he's just come back.
If it was the Premier League, you'd probably stick Kyle Walker-Peters there, but because he's in the Championship, he's got no hope.
Yeah, he's going to struggle. And for me, it's Trippier. As it stands out, I would have Trippier playing there.
I'd probably play Joe Gomez at the moment.
Possibly even Joe Gomez, yeah, because he's not a bad player.
Despite the fact that he plays for Liverpool, but he's not a bad player. Yeah, and he has played there for Liverpool as well.
A few times, yeah.
He's
done right as well. He's done quite well in there.
And he's covered for centre-back, he could potentially play centre-back if Maguire's...
I would have Gomez ahead of Maguire, personally. Because I think he's the better footballer.
Trent Arnold doesn't even go on the plane at the moment.
I wouldn't even... He doesn't.
We don't need any more midfielders.
No, I would agree. And if you look at the midfielders that we have got, if you can't win with them midfielders, then you shouldn't be managing a team, let alone an international team. Because we've got the best attacking team on the planet, for me. By some distance. So, Harry Kane, because you were on about you wanted Harry Kane to win the Champions League to give him confidence going into the Euros.
Yeah, but he's not known as somebody that can't win a trophy.
42 goals this season. That's a ridiculous amount of goals. If you're not confident going in,
41 games as well.
If you're not confident going in for that,
I think he's got like 11 assists as well.
It's crazy number.
He's got or 10 assists. He's like top of in the top leagues. He's top of the goal contributions, whether or not it be assists. It's only Mbappe that's behind him by one goal.
Yeah, they play a little.
And then I think it's like Cole Palmer or something that's behind.
Oh no, two players in the Farmers Leagues. Ooh. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. Just you randomly spout. Oh, these guys are scoring loads of goals in Farmers Leagues.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is
Farmers Leagues.
The point I'm making is, as a striker, when you score 42 goals, regardless of where you are, you're going to have confidence.
Yeah.
So I don't particularly need Kane to win anything. Because as a striker, scoring that many goals should make you feel better regardless of who it's against or what league it's in. You should feel great scoring that many goals.
But surely it must be getting into his head thinking, I'm never going to win anything.
Probably, but then it's your fault for going to Spurs, isn't it? Because they were never going to win anything. I know. I'm one of I plan on being the best striker this country's ever seen. So I'm going to go and sign for the perpetual losers
Like Gary Lineker.
that haven't won. And this is something that was said by O'Toole. O'Hara, sorry. O'Toole on TalkSport. And he said the last time we won a trophy of note, because he doesn't class the League Cup as a trophy, so 2008 doesn't count,
Okay.
was 1991 when they won the FA Cup. And the last time they won the league?
Don't know.
1961.
Yeah.
That's a while ago.
Unfortunately, my memory doesn't go back that far.
Mine doesn't. And I'm the oldest one here. Even mine doesn't stretch back that far.
Yeah.
1961 was the last time they won the league. And Kane went, I know. It's time for them. And you wonder why you've won naff all. So if leading scorer is the only trophy you're going for, he's got it.
Congratulations, you got it.
He's going to get it. So fair play. He should go full of confidence and think, I can bang in a load of goals against Panama again.
For me, I want Real Madrid because I want to see Bellingham lift it.
Yeah, I would like Bellingham to lift the Champions League.
I'd rather see them
well.
win it than anyone else that's in it right now.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
It would be funny.
Kane's
seeing
like
Kane
what?
not win
Kane's like
everything.
what? 31 now. Bellingham's what? 22. I'd rather see the young England player feel like he can win stuff
Yeah.
I'd
than
love
the
to see
older
it.
one.
Because at the end of the day, he's going to win the La Liga.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
win the Champions League.
Hopefully win the Champions League.
Hopefully win the Euros.
Yeah, but what I mean is, that's the guy who is potentially our future captain. He is potentially the future captain of England.
It's
I don't
between
know
him
what
and
his
Rice, isn't it?
leadership
He
is.
is. He is our generation's Bobby Charlton.
I couldn't judge him on a leadership because I don't know how he is as a leader.
No,
can
I
kind
don't.
of see
I always thought Rice
Rice.
would be the future England captain, to be honest.
I see Rice. I wouldn't
Um,
even give it to Kane now. I would give it to Declan Rice. I think he'd be more effective.
Do you know what? It might free him up. Look at what he's done at Bayern Munich. He's not the captain there, is he?
Yeah. Let
And
him
he's-
just concentrate on putting the ball in the
He's
back
not
of the
scored
net.
that many goals for Tottenham in a season, so maybe that's what he needs. Take the captaincy off him.
What Kane needs to do is be in the box when they're crossing the ball in, because the amount
Yeah,
of
but
times
Southgate
that
won't let him.
he comes. Have you seen him when he drops into midfield role?
Southgate tells. I'm sure Southgate tells him to do that. He doesn't do that for Munich. Munich just say to him, "Sit in the fucking box. Don't come back. We're not interested in you coming back. Stay up there and put the ball in the back of the net because that's what we pay you to do."
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets to England and Southgate goes, "If you can just drop back 40 yards, and then do your best to get." He's not a sprinter. Kane's not a sprinter. He never will be a sprinter, and he's not all about the running. Never has been. He's a goal scorer. Just leave him up front and let him score goals.
Yeah.
Stop telling him to come back and defend. Well, I'm not interested in Kane defending. I don't care whether he can defend or not. I don't want him doing it. I want him up front scoring goals.
But I know I've said on previous 8 international football, I don't watch friendlies or qualifiers and stuff, but I'm actually looking forward to the Euros.
Are we going to do a couple of watch-alongs?
Depends when the games are, isn't it?
We may do a couple of watch-alongs.
We'll see what's about.
We're also thinking about doing a fantasy league for the podcast, but we're going to wait until the teams are decided and we can actually sort out which app we're going to use.
Yeah, and where?
To actually do it. I think I found one at the moment, but obviously I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to wait, and then as soon as we find out exactly which app we're using, I'm going to, if I need to do it quickly, I'll just record a quick short while I'm on my own and just put it out there with all the information on it. And if we've got a couple of weeks, obviously we'll film one all together. I say all together, he won't film one, he'll just sit in the back and hold the camera for us, and we'll film a little short just to explain to everyone what app we're using, what the password is, what the name of the league is, which I imagine will just be the name of the podcast.
Because
And
I
then
know
we'll
that
do a
I'll be
little-
off for all the games anyway. Now with the job I do now, I know that I'm available for all games, which is nice.
Yeah, I think
Feeling where
I
I've
should be
been
able to.
used to shift work and stuff, and it normally doesn't fall right.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible,
It's a
especially when your boss
combination
isn't a
of-
football fan.
It's a combination of
the
enjoyment
worst.
because obviously there'll be a part of me that some games I might want to be in a pub and drinking some drink.
He's an alcoholic. In short, he's an alky. Whereas I'm teetotal. Tin Ribs is virtually teetotal. So it doesn't really bother us too much, so we'll probably just sit and watch it.
I don't drink all the time. I just drink a lot when I do.
Every day.
Every day. I don't know. I don't know if I've even... I think I've had one drink in April.
Yeah. No,
It's kind of one of them. Sometimes it gets really heavy for a weekend, and then...
Basically what you're
there's
saying
nothing.
is you either do or you don't, and when you do, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, when I go for my diabetes stuff, they go, do you what's your alcohol units? I go, it's not really anything. I'm just definition of a binge drink.
Yeah, I'm either none or 1,000.
Yeah. It's none or 10 pints.
Yeah,
Plus.
I can't bother drinking. Too much like hard work. I'm too lazy to drink, I think. I can't be arsed with that feeling of being drunk afterwards that you got to deal with. It's too much for me. So
Can't
yeah,
wait
we
till
will.
we go on like a golfing trip and we stay somewhere overnight and we've not got to do anything like this, and then you like just fancy a drink and then you're bladdered off for one.
Make wine gums. Gets me drunk these days. Right, so what I'm going to do is we'll whip through the prediction game because
it wasn't very
I'm
good.
going to be honest, there was not a huge amount of points scored again this week. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, boys, and the 3 listening, Daryl, Jay and Max, we have been abysmal. Nothing short of abysmal. You 2 got 1 smack on the head last week. Yeah. Other than that, it's been shocking. Right. The Leeds game, every single one of us said Leeds would win. 2-0, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-1.
Did anybody say 4-0?
Nobody even said QPR. Max was the only one that said QPR would score, and that was 1 goal. And they battered you 4-0, so thanks for that, Leeds. Yeah. You've given us all no points for that one.
That's Saints, not the first time that's happened.
Saints v Stoke, just as fucking disappointing. You said Saints would lose because you've gone on this mad I hate Saints at the minute. So you said you'd lose 2-1, so you've at least got a point.
Was I wrong? Have I been wrong the last 2 weeks too?
I mean, to be fair, he hasn't been wrong, has he?
No, he hasn't.
I said you'd win 2-1, you said 1-0, Tim. Daryl 2-all, Jay 1-all, and Max said you'd win 2-0.
Got the right score.
2 games and 1 point has been scored between 6 of us. We're all an embarrassment. Spurs versus Arsenal. Now this was where things got interesting.
I mean, after midweek, I really wanted to change my prediction.
Yeah, I can imagine you did actually when we smashed up Chelsea 5-0.
Yeah.
Now I said Arsenal would win 2-0. Tin said 2-0. You said it'd be 1-all. Darryl said 3-1. Jay said 2-1 Spurs. Max said 1-0 Spurs. I'm very glad you 2 were wrong. I hope you feel guilty.
I don't feel guilty.
I hope you feel bad about what you've done.
I don't feel bad.
You said 1-all.
I did.
Well, that's not that bad. They said Arsenal would lose. I hope they're ashamed of themselves. So, Jason and Max, I hope you're ashamed. Arsenal won 3-2. Now, Daryl was really cheesed off because he said that Arsenal would win 3-1. So, obviously, when we went in half-time 3-0 up, us 3 were all sitting here thinking this could be 6.
Yeah.
Because we were all over Spurs in the first half. Of course, Flappy Bird did his thing. And give the ball straight to Romero, who then
great pass.
It was a fantastic assist. I'll give him that. So Flappy Bird handed it straight to Romero, who then just slid it past him because, as a goalkeeper, as we all know, he's shit. So he was never going to stop that.
And then Declan Rice has real issues with.
Declan Rice has got some sort of
He's basically
problem with
ended
Davis.
Ben Davis's chance of having kids.
Yeah, he. To be fair, he did follow the ball into the box.
He got the ball.
But he definitely kicked the wrong ball. And Ben Davis went down. It was a stonewall penalty. And they put the penalty away, which made it 3-2. So that upset Daryl.
I'm surprised he even sent him to the monitor to go review it.
Well,
I'm shocked.
The thing was, he actually waved play on initially.
Yeah, he did.
And yet he was only about, 10 feet away?
He was pretty close.
He wasn't even that, I don't think. He was right on top of it.
It was a shocking misread from the referee, anyway, that's for damn sure. So Daryl had us down for a 3-1 win, so he was mortified when that ball got kicked.
Yeah.
And the penalty went in, and we won 3-2 in the end. So basically, there's 3 of us, Daryl, Tin Ribs, and myself, that have got a point from that game. Which means that me and Tin got a point total. Jim got 1 point total. and Daryl got 1 point total. Jay and Max got no points at all.
So basically, there's not really any change.
Nothing's changed.
There's not a lot. So who was it? It was me, Tin, Jim, and Daryl with 1. Me, Tin, Jim, Daryl. Nothing for Jay. Nothing for Max. So 38. Jay's still got 32. Max has still got 38. Tin is still in 4th with now 40. Jim is in 3rd with now 41. I am in 2nd with now 46. And Daryl remains leader with 49.
Yep.
So, yeah, shocking. So what we've done is this week, because Leeds and Southampton are playing each other, bearing in mind, lads, this is your last chance of points before the forfeit.
Are we
I
actually
don't...
ending it this week? Because obviously there are still games.
Well, no, because we're not all going to be playing playoff games.
Yeah.
So we just said end of the season. Technically, this is the end of the actual football season.
Yeah.
Well, technically, Arsenal's still playing.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Because if Leeds and Southampton are in the playoffs, then we'll do it. Because then you'll each have a game.
Yeah.
So you've got, basically, as far as we're aware, this 1 week left of points. You're on 40 points, Tin Ribs.
I know.
You're on 41.
Yeah.
Now, I think I'm safe on 46. So I don't think you're both going to get 7 points to overtake me, and you're going to get 6. With me getting none at all.
I think it's going to take a direct hit.
I should have just copied one of you two on your results. In fact, we haven't given our results yet, so I still might do that. I might just copy one of you so I know I'm not going to be the last one.
It may even be more worthwhile, the fact if this is the way it's going to be, maybe we should just message our results in so nobody goes first. So we can't copy.
No. Because I guarantee my results are going to be very different to everybody else's today.
Well, what we're going to do then is you're going to go first on all 3 because you're ahead of him.
Okay.
So he's definitely not going to copy your results. Whereas if he goes first, if he goes first and you just copy his, then he gets the forfeit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask for yours before I ask for his
Right.
on every single one.
Why can't I just copy his?
That's why.
Yeah.
So Mac v Worksop we've gone for. We've added the Macclesfield game in, obviously, because Leeds and Southampton are playing each other. So that's an easy 6-0 to Leeds. So what we're going to do is Mac v Worksop. I am going to go for... I'm going to have some faith in Mac because this is their first playoff game. Right, so we are going to go for a playoff game. So I'm going to go Mac 2-0 against Worksop because they're at the Moss Rose or leasing.com stadium as it's known. So, Tin Ribs, only joking. What is Mac v Worksop going to be?
I was thinking 2-0, so I'm going to stick with it.
You're going to stick
2-0
with 2.
That was to
2-0 to Macclesfield. Tin Ribs,
1-0.
something other than 2-0. 1-0 Worksop.
So, Worksop have beat Macclesfield both times this season. They've always scored. They beat them 2-1 at home, and they won 1-0 at... Well, they were... No, so, sorry. Worksop won 1-0 at home, but they won 2-1 away. Unfortunately, even though Mac have won their last 7 at home, I just think there's something about the fact that Worksop...
He's done some research on this, hasn't he?
Worksop beat them, was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I just think that going into this game, Worksop might just do it. And again, he's gone... I knew he'd be on the Mac side because they're sort of our team, but I've just got this bad feeling they seem to have something over.
Well, this could be a heavy swing, and you could be getting spanked up next week, so we will see. Leeds v Saints, so I'll go first because I don't think it matters so much. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw, which is not going to help either one of you. Jim Jam.
Well, there is no helping us anyway. We're fourth no matter what.
Yeah, there's no help.
So we're fourth no matter what, so I'd like to think that he might do things differently. So it's 100%. I can't imagine Leeds not winning that.
He always gets 3-0 leads. You can hear his
I know,
head
yeah.
ticking over.
Because he wants to say it. You know he wants to say it.
No, I don't. I've got 2 scores in my head.
3-0 Leeds.
Go for the first
And
one.
one's not. First one's 4-0.
To Leeds?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the second one?
It would have been 5-0.
Jesus Christ, yeah, we'll go.
I honestly think that we'll get spanked. I think Leeds will be ruthless.
Right, well, you're definitely not going to go the same as
I
that.
wasn't going to go that high. I still think we'll win,
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be like 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
I think we'll get spanked. I think Leeds will be ruthless and
Wow,
go
you.
for it.
Jesus Christ, talk about faithless. Holy crap. Arsenal, Bournemouth. Now, the way we played against Chelsea, on our first half against Tottenham, I was going to sit here and happily go Arsenal 4, maybe even 5-0 against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
After that second half, knowing that Flappy Bird's going to be in there again, and he's just handed yet another goal to an opposing side, he's still going to get fucking defended. It's beyond me. As I'm going to reduce it slightly, and I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. Jim.
I'll go for my 3-0 Arsenal. Had to be a 3-0 somewhere.
That had to be a 3-0. So that's you, Darryl, and Max that have all gone 3-0. Me and Jay have both gone 3-1. Ribs of 10.
Well, going on the fact Bournemouth are on a bit of a run and they just smashed Brighton 3-0, I think it's going to be a close game. We've got his favourite keeper in goal, but I'm still going to say Arsenal are going to win. But I think it's going to be a closer game and it's going to be
2-1.
Yeah.
Is that what you think, 2-1? Okay, so you've gone 2-1. So I've gone 3-1. Tim's gone 2-1. Jim's gone 3-0. Daryl's gone 3-0. Jay's gone 3-1. Max gone 3-0. So we've all gone for Arsenal to win. So I think the big ones are...
It's the Mac game.
The Mac game's a big one, isn't it? Because you've gone Mac and you've gone Worksop. That could very well... Macclesfield, the one that we basically all don't mind following, could be the one that...
That's Tuesday.
Subjects
and that's
one of
Tuesday,
you.
so we could be coming into the weekend.
Oh, you could be coming into the weekend with your pants already down.
Yeah.
It could be bad. Like, I mean, I've got to be honest, if Worksop beat us 1-0, you're going to be, like, on the edge.
I was going to say, if Mac win that game, that gives me 2 points.
Yeah, he's got 2 points.
So he would need 2 direct hits at that point.
Yeah.
Because one direct hit would only level it at that point.
In which case, we'd have to have a playoff, which would include the playoffs. Which I'm hoping. The best thing for me right now could be that you two end level at the weekend, and the playoff final is between Leeds and Southampton. And that is the game that then decides your predictions as well. That would be amazing. That would. I would absolutely love that.
And then you know what would probably happen? Fucking Leeds and
Leeds
Southampton.
would win.
No, both lose their semi-finals.
Do you know the thing? If you are both in the final and it comes down to it, Leeds would probably win that 3-0 just to give him the 3 points.
I was going to say we wouldn't, but...
So you'd be really pleased that you're in the Premier League, and then you'd be like, oh, I don't have to take my pants off in the middle of time now. So, right, it's down to the last weekend. This could be really interesting, this could.
Yeah. It's sad that the season's coming to an end.
It is.
Glad
it is,
well.
and I'm really glad that we started the pod. We obviously started it in 2023, but we started it after the season had started, so we didn't start the pod till November. So obviously we're on episode 27, so we've been doing it for 27 weeks because we release one every single week without fail. Obviously there are times where we can't all three of us make it, so we've missed a couple of weeks here and there.
It'll be interesting to see, like, if Leeds go up, Southampton stay down, whether or not we'll have as much interest in the Championship as with just one of us being there.
I still think so, because the games are good down there. And to be honest, whilst one of us is in the Championship, there's always going to be an interest drawn into
And there's
it.
more games next season as well. In the Championship on TV. I know that there's going to be a lot more games, so we'll find that there's more games on TV.
Well, we watch as many games as we can anyway. Like we will watch as many games as humanly possible. My other half, for one, is getting really fed up with football being on the telly because if it's on, I'll watch it. Basically,
yeah, I've found it. On that, I mean, kind of regretted because I got rid of TNT Sports because I needed to save myself some money. I couldn't justify £30, and then
we
I
would
wanted
like to say
watch.
that the TV companies are an absolute rip-off.
So I found myself wanting to watch. I was going to watch Arsenal Bayern Munich, the second leg.
I wish I hadn't watched
And
that, by the way.
Basically was when my subscription ended, and I toyed for 10 minutes trying to justify myself to spend £30. I was like, it's only £1 a day and stuff like that. And I was like, and then in the end, I was like, no, I've got rid of it for a reason because I'm really
just get rid. Let it go.
At the moment, it's just going month by month at the moment for myself and stuff. So it's just about.
Tin Ribs is just pointing
saving.
something out.
Watch this.
He's miles
This is
offside.
an absolute challenge.
Oh wow. Yeah, the Man City and Forest game is just on in the background, and one of the Forest forwards whose name escapes me at the moment was put clean through. Elanga. He's rapid as well. How did he not get to that first? He was miles offside.
Yeah,
and he still got to the ball
Nathan
second.
Ake's rapid.
He is quite quick.
But that recovery by Ake was unreal.
No, he's Dutch.
Yeah, good, really. Right, we've come to the end of another episode, and I'm sincerely hoping that this episode sounds the best one yet, because we have put some effort into. Obviously, as you can see, we've got new equipment, and it didn't go according to plan last week, which I did apologise for. But I'm new to all this. This podcasting thing. Like I say, we started it in November, and I basically started from scratch. The whole thing was done with my phone and a couple of microphones that are like this big, sort of an inch long. So I decided to invest, and we got some microphones. I've got a laptop, and we're trying to do it properly. We still don't want to be professional, because it's just not who we are. We are Sunday League, and that's the way we want to keep it. But we do want it to sound that little bit better for the people that are listening, and obviously for the people that watch us on YouTube, which is, I think last week we finally hit 39,000 we'd hit last time we recorded last week. So if I just flip onto YouTube now, so we were on 39,000 views this time last week. We're now on 43,400 views. So it is creeping up very, very quickly now. We love every one of you, which is why we're, part of the reason why we're trying to put effort into making it sound better for the people that are listening. So we hope that's worked. Thank you very much for joining us for yet another absolute book of garbage that we speak every week. But, we appreciate you for being here, and we shall see you lovely, lovely people next week.